Hey guys, welcome back to another whiteboard chat, and today we're going to talk about Indican, which is the next marker in the organic acid section that's been added to the Dutch test. So last time we talked about quinolinate or quinolinic acid. Interestingly enough, they're actually in the same pathway, tryptophan pathway. See, Indican's a lot earlier in that process, right? Versus the kynurenine pathway, which we talked about last time, which was leading to quinolinic acid. A little more complicated. However, they are both in the same tryptophan process nonetheless, so that's pretty cool to see. Generally, if you look up this marker, you're going to find a little more literature talking about stool levels, though it is found in the urine as well. But it's pretty cool because this can kind of give us some bridging the gap a little bit between a GI map. Now, obviously, we can't replicate a GI map with urine, but this does give us a little bit of look into that side as well, because obviously there's so much carryover between all of these issues. So what might elevated Indican levels indicate? Inflammatory bowel disease, of course, pretty broad term, any of those inflammatory type of disease, in the GI tract, celiac, autoimmune related to gluten, low acid, two different types of low acid, aclo and hypo, one meaning like lack of acid, or a low acid environment in general, one meaning that literally lack of secretion, right? And one probably causes the other, right? Gastric ulcers, biliary and intestinal obstructions, and jejunal diverticulitis. Now, of course, not limited to these, but these are the common ones. Other things you maybe want to look into, you could do baking soda burp test, pretty much free or close to free. That's an easy one to do. If you're seeing reflux especially, and this marker, dysbiosis, obviously if they're living in that low acid environment for a really long time, then dysbiosis is a very likely possibility. So you want to check that out. That's where you may want the GI map, because you could be looking at bigger issues like SIBO, candida, etc. If they have literal pains and you're working with a client, you may want to talk to them about getting referred to a specialist to get some imaging, endoscopy, colonoscopy, because there could be injury in there, herniations, lesions, precancerous cells, like things like that are potentially a little bit more serious. So you might want to refer out. If the pain is like extreme and super frequent, then they probably want to get help right away. But if it's maybe less frequent or not, or not as severe, then they might want to just talk to someone that can get them in and get some imaging done if they're worried about that. Again, looking at acid, looking at dysbiosis issues, looking at inflammatory bowel type of issues. Of course, like leaky gut and intestinal permeability issues are probably going to be associated with that. Those are the markers that you'd probably want to examine. Pretty easy one today. I'll go over the third marker in the next video. If you want to find the quinolinic acid video, you can get to check out my channel, and you'll also be able to check this one out when we get it put up. Of course, I will provide a link, and we will talk to you guys next time.